Hey, what's going on? This is Jerry Fetta coming at you with another weekly wealth walk. Now, today I want to talk about how to use the sacred account integrated with your estate plan to build generational wealth. So we want to talk about generational wealth today. There's something that I want to go over that's been a strategy of the wealthy for literally, 1 to 200 years or longer to create generational wealth. Right now, before we dive into this, what would be the purpose of generational wealth? Because sometimes, I talk with people about this and there's this mentality that I want to address, and it's kind of a negative one. It's like, why would I do that? Why would I want to give that to my kids? I'm dead anyways. What are they going to do? They need to earn their stripes. Generational wealth is about this. It's about the ones you love starting better than you did, picking up where you left off. And the thing is, they're going to pick up where you left off. So are you going to make them pick up on something bad? Being broke, being in poverty, maybe handling a mess with your estate when you pass away? Or do you want them to pick up like at an advantage? Right? If you love them when you're alive enough to take care of them, why would that change just because you're dead? Right? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you be like, well, because I'm not here, I don't want to provide for them. I don't want their lives to be improved. I don't want them to have abundance and prosperity anymore because I'm not here. That's the differentiating factor. So for someone that has that mindset of I don't give a crap because I'm not around anymore, that's selfish. Wealth is about more than just you. Abundance and prosperity in all areas of your life. That's not just you. You're one tiny little piece of that. Right? So what are we going to do with this? Well, first, you need to have your own sacred account. That's step number one. If you're not being your own banker right now, using your own sacred account, then this strategy doesn't work. Okay? So you need to set up your own sacred account. You need to practice the concept of being your own bank. It's called the infinite banking concept. Right? You use a life insurance policy, a properly designed, specially structured whole life insurance policy that's designed and engineered specifically for this. Next, I don't want to interrupt you too long. I just want to give you a free offer for my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. If you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get the book now. I'm going to let you get back to the video. Right? The Indy 500 is happening, this past weekend or this week in Indiana. If you're watching, you don't take a Toyota, Prius and race that on the track. Why? Because it's not designed for that race. Is it a car? Yes, but it's not the right one. So there's a specific design. You're going to set this policy up. Number one is you're going to deposit money into it. You need to pay yourself first. Okay? You're now depositing into it. It's a better place than the bank. You're getting higher returns. You're getting more protection. You're getting tax shelter. You're getting a lot of stuff, a death benefit that you don't get when you save money with a bank, when you save money with Wall Street. The second thing is you're going to be the banker. So a banker, the bank is in the business of borrowing against your deposits and loaning them out to other people. So with your sacred account, when you're being the banker, you're borrowing against your own deposit, just like the bank's going to do anyways. This is already happening with your money. You're loaning that to yourself. You're the borrower and the banker so that you can make smart financial decisions with it while you're still alive. That's the concept. You're being your own banker while you're still alive, right? Now, when you borrow, you're now going to repay yourself back with interest. That's the next step here. You borrow. Step number 3, you repay yourself with interest. Now, you might say to me, Jerry, why would I pay my own loan back? My retort to that would be, why would you pay Bank of America's loan back and not your own loan back? Why do you care so much more about the bank's money that you're willing to borrow on a car from them and pay them back, but when you borrow on the same car from your own bank, you question why you should pay your own loan back? You buy a house with your policy, with your sacred account. Why do I make a mortgage payment back? Why is it more important that you make a mortgage payment back to your bank? You need to have more respect for your money than you do their money. That's the problem here. That's the problem, is people have more respect for JP Morgan Chase and Wells Fargo and Bank of America and PIMCO than they have for their own family's finances. And if that doesn't change, that's a paradigm shift. I respect my dollars more. That's why I pay myself first. That's why I fund my bank instead of theirs. That's why when I borrow, I repay my loans back with interest, because I respect my dollars more than theirs. And if I would do it with them, I'm going to do it with me. And so you're not really changing anything. If you were going to borrow money for a car, you're going to make the same kind of car payment to your bank instead of theirs. If you borrow money to pay off your consumer debt, when you free that up, you're going to make that payment back to yourself instead of them. That's what you're doing when you're alive, and you're earning interest, you're earning growth on your money, and then you're also a shareholder in the insurance company earning dividends and profits on the entire system. You're the depositor, the banker, the borrower, and the shareholder. Okay, so you get to play all 4 roles while you're alive. That's better for you when you're alive. But check this out. On a life insurance policy, there's going to be a tax-free death benefit. And that death benefit is going to go tax-free to a designated beneficiary. So what I would do, and what I recommend you would do, is you set up your policy. Number one, you become your own bank. You practice the banking concept. While you're doing that, you're going to set up an estate plan. An estate plan is going to be built out with a couple different things. Okay. First thing is you're going to have a Nevada-based revocable living trust. Okay, I'm going to tell you what that means. Before I do, I'm not an attorney. This is not legal advice. This is what I've learned from my attorney team. And if you want to learn more about that, reach out to me. I can connect you with them. They're the experts. I'm not your attorney. I'm not going to tell you the legalese of this. I'm just going to teach the concept today. Right? This is for educational purposes. So you're going to set up your revocable living trust. What that does is it means when you die, your assets didn't die with you. If you don't have a revocable living trust, your assets will go through something called probate. When you go through probate with your assets, the state and the government, they basically take inventory of everything you own, and they read your will, and they make sure everybody checks out. Everything goes public, by the way. Like, you can now go on the state websites and everyone's going to be able to see everything you owned and who it went to. That's all public information. And the probate process on average can take up to 18 months before the ones you love see the assets you set aside for them. Right? And it's going to cost on average up to 15% in legal fees and taxes. So if you have a $10 million estate, that's $1.5 million in legal fees in 18 months before your heirs, before your beneficiaries, your loved ones see anything. So having an estate plan with a trust, a revocable living trust, avoids that. You don't have probate. Why? Because your trust owned everything. When you died, your trust didn't. Your trust is still alive. It still owns everything. It's still there. It's not going through probate now. Okay. Now that trust is going to be protected by what's called an anonymous LLC. This is for asset protection. So you have the umbrella of the trust, which is completely private information. You've got an anonymous LLC. So if anyone tries to find out about the trust, they've got to get through that layer of protection first. Then you've got what's called a pour over a will. Anything that's not covered by the trust gets handled with the will. You've got your healthcare directives. If I'm ever incapacitated, what are my medical wishes? If I'm, ever, let's say, not doing well mentally in that capacity, I don't want to be sent to a psychiatrist. I want that in my medical directive, that's off limits for me, right? There's certain things you care about that you would want in there. You've got your financial directives. Who keeps paying my bills if I can't? Who manages my finances if I can't? Who's my trusted advisor in life, right? These are all components of that estate plan. So that's the function of it, but check this out. Hey, what's up? Jerry here. I just wanted to give you another reminder. Grab my book, Blueprint to Financial Freedom. It's going to be one of the best books you have ever read on finance. I can promise you that. You're going to love it. It's also a free offer. So if you go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, you can get that now. You're going to name your estate plan the beneficiary of your life insurance policy. So when you pass away, your death benefits, and I say death benefits plural because you should have more than one sacred account. I'm opening up another one right now. Okay, I have a good friend of mine that he challenged me. I'm stepping up my game. He's got over 20 of these. Over 20 sacred accounts. So I'm like, okay, I need more sacred accounts. You need more sacred accounts. I want more locations for my bank, right? I want to set up as many as possible. So you're going to make the beneficiary of these your estate plan. So it's going to pay the death benefit tax-free to your estate plan. All of that money goes into the estate plan, and when it goes in the estate plan, it goes inside the trust. The trust has provisions. Provisions mean I get to say who gets that money, when they get the money, what they've got to go through before they can get it. If I want to require that they learn some education, they learn about becoming their own banker, that's a requirement. When they can't get the money, if they're, maybe not doing well physically, or they have a drug problem, or they've been in a treatment center, or they're in prison, or whatever, I can say all of these are exclusions. Okay, an example of this, the coolest one I ever heard, a dad set up one of these trusts for his son, and so his rule was, I'll give you $1 if you earn $1. So for every dollar you earn in your lifetime, the trust will match it by giving you one. And so now his son is incentivized to not be a trust fund baby. I've got to go produce. There might be $10 million in there. For me to get the full $10 million, I've actually got to go earn $10 million. And if I don't have that. I can also make it a dynasty trust that lasts for 3-4 generations in a row. Okay, so these are all things that I can do with the trust, but the beneficiary is the trust. There's control over who gets the money and when. And this is where you're going to use the Rockefeller principle. Okay, Rockefeller Family Trust, in order to take money out of Rockefeller Family Trust, a beneficiary has to have a sacred account on their own life. And the trust must be named the beneficiary of that sacred account. So check this out. Let's rewind to the beginning. I set up my sacred account. I'm being my own bank. I make my trust. I set the trust up as the beneficiary of my sacred account. I make one of the rules for my whoever is going to withdraw money out of this trust to withdraw that money. You know, they need to be earning income. They need to do this. They need to do that. And they have to have their own sacred account. And the trust needs to be the beneficiary of that sacred account. Why? Because I want them to learn to become their own banker. And when they pass away, I want my trust to get a tax-free repayment so that the next generation lives on. And this is why we do a dynasty trust. My kids, my grandkids, their grandkids, that's the mindset here. It's not just me this lifetime. It's 3 or 4 lifetimes down the road. Okay, so every time someone takes, they're giving back. When they pass away, that life insurance policy that they took out in their own life repays the trust tax-free, and it continues to recycle over and over and over and over. Okay, what I love about this concept is that it's not new, right? Life insurance has been a tool for the wealthy for over 200 years. You know, we've been using this in our country. It's been, you know, one of the driving forces behind, you know, Walmart, Disneyland, JCPenney, like presidents, politicians, Pampered Chef, universities, right? So if you're watching this video, this is a strategy you should be looking at. These steps I talked about today, here's the long-term play of this, right? Now, we're going to wrap up on this note. That's all I got for you today. Like, share, subscribe. I'll see you next time. Hey, this is Fetta here. I want to thank you for watching my video, watching my content. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to learn more about the blueprint to financial freedom and how you can achieve passive income that exceeds your savings, your expenses, your taxes, your generosity, and build wealth like the top 1%, I want to encourage you, grab a copy of my book, The Blueprint to Financial Freedom. You can go to jerryfetta.com/B2F promo, or you can click the link in the description of the video here. The copy is free. You cover your shipping. We'll send the book out to you, and we'll send you an email with a bunch of great bonus material also for free. Get the book, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you on my next content.